lot easier than you might think to travel from the UK to Sicily without flying. I did this back in November 2025 and I've been sharing quite a lot about it on Instagram and TikTok recently. I have had quite a few comments of people wondering why I would do this, of people saying it's too expensive, of people saying they would never do this, but this video is going to look at how I would get from London to Sicily without flying in an ideal world and some of the reasons why I would choose to travel like this. So we've got a Eurostar, we've got a European high-speed train, we've got a night train, and we also have the option of a night ferry. So let's get into it. So if I was to travel from the UK to Sicily without flying in the most ideal way, I would take the Eurostar to Paris. Paris is the best Eurostar stop to get to anywhere south and southeast in Europe, simply because it just opens up the gateway for that area. So I jump on a Eurostar to Paris. Now there are ways that you can get cheaper Eurostar tickets. I gave the average price as like £100 in my reel, which for me that is quite high because I usually pay £60 to £80, and I've had so many comments of people saying you can't get a Eurostar for that price. So I have some Eurostar tips in this QR code if you want to scan that and go through. But my general advice would be to book as far in advance as possible. If you could book 3 months in advance, book 3 months in advance. If you can book 6 months in advance, if you know you're definitely going to be traveling on a date, then do that. Eurostar tickets are cancelable up to 7 days before. They do have a £25 fee if you cancel them, so obviously do factor that in. In an ideal world for this London to Sicily overland itinerary, you will be getting a morning Eurostar. These can be a bit expensive. There is a 7 o'clock Eurostar that is usually cheaper, so maybe book that if you want to. If not, they are a bit more expensive in the morning than the afternoon, so my top tip would be to book as early as possible. Get on your Eurostar, head to Paris. And once you get to Paris, I would recommend taking the high-speed train to Milan. So this takes about 6 or 7 hours. It is a really beautiful journey. Hopefully you'll be getting an early enough train so you cross the Alps while it is still light, because that is some absolutely beautiful, beautiful scenery. And then you will arrive in Milan. So Milan is I believe it's the second largest city in Italy. It is the largest city in northern Italy, and you are going to spend a night there. Now there are a few options to spend a night in Milan. I found this hotel, I'll write it on the screen, which cost about £107 a night. Very highly reviewed, looks pretty decent. You will be able to find cheaper if you want to go a super budget hotel, or if you want to go for a hostel. You obviously will be able to spend a lot more money as well if you want something more luxurious. Another recommendation I personally used is called Spice Hotel. It's very close to Milan Central Station. It has very modern rooms and it has great rain showers. I think prices were about £200 a night. Now one of the draws of doing this no flights itinerary is that you get to spend a whole day in Milan after. Milan isn't actually my favourite city in Europe, but there is plenty of things to see and do there. Obviously you've got the Duomo, you've got the big arcades, you've got loads and loads of churches. There's a fantastic pizza restaurant. I will write that on the screen. Probably the best pizza I've ever had. Obviously you've got all of the city streets. I did make a video about Milan's best hidden gems, so you can find that up here. You've got a whole day in Milan. It's a popular city. Get out and enjoy it. Then the next night is when you are going to get on board a night train. Now this is a 21-hour night train, but single-use cabins are not that expensive. You do actually have the option. You can have a mixed cabin, I believe. You can have a woman-only cabin. Obviously if you're a woman, you can also get your own cabin, and especially if you're traveling like with someone or with a couple of people, it's worth getting your own cabin. Just have your own space. But I actually travelled on my own and I had my own cabin because they really aren't crazy expensive. I had a look at a dummy day and I managed to find a own cabin, completely own cabin, for £102 for just a solo traveller on their own. So this would be cheaper if you are travelling with someone. So you're going to get on board your night train. It's the InterCity Notte Italian sleeper trains, and it will take you from Milan all the way to Sicily, either to Palermo on the north or Syracuse in the south. And obviously there are a few intermediate stations that you can get off on as well. So I would recommend booking this through the InterCity Notte website or through like the Italian trains website. Then you can add your sleeping option onto that. The train itself is a little bit dated, but I did find it comfortable. I found the bed really comfortable, but the cabin itself hasn't been redone in a while. But it almost added to the nostalgia of the journey as we pulled our way out of Milan and started our journey further south. My train left at about 8 in the evening, so I had a couple of hours to relax and then get ready for bed. Got ready for bed, fell asleep, woke up. We'd already passed Naples and we were making our way through South Italy. The scenery here was absolutely spectacular. We've got olive groves, we've got vineyards, we've got rolling hills, we've got little churches on the hillsides. Absolutely loved it. So around mid-morning, we made our way down to the coastline, the port. I think it's Porto Villagiovani. I think that was it. So we arrived there, and this is the most interesting thing about this journey. So the train gets wheeled onto a ferry. There's obviously rails on the land, there's rails on the other side, they're the same gauge, and then rails of the same gauge get put on the ferry. So when the ferry comes to the port, the rails on the ferry match up with the rails on the land, and then the train just goes onto the ferry. It actually gets split up, so the ferry's not a super long ferry, the carriages get split up and they all get sort of hauled onto the ferry. It takes a bit of time. The train's then parked on the ferry, and for the crossing you can either stay on the train, but what I would really recommend doing is getting off the train, which you're welcome to do, and you can go up to the deck and have a little look around, and you can see Sicily rolling in, and you can just enjoy the views, see mainland Italy behind you. Then you arrive into Sicily and you get back on the train, and we were actually waiting for about an hour and a half. I think that's because our crossing went very seamlessly, but I think they allow some buffer time, so we were waiting for quite a while, and then we made our journey. Me to Palermo, but then the other half of the train went to Syracuse. We picked up some seating cabins along the way, had a really, really beautiful journey along the northern coastline, Sicilian scene to the left, and then the beautiful Mediterranean to the right, and arrived into Palermo at about 5:30. So for this itinerary, this is 5:30, 3 days after you set off. So the rough total of this itinerary is £380, but do bear in mind that includes 2 nights of accommodation, and it also means you get to spend an extra day in Milan seeing the sights of Milan. Obviously no costs in Milan are included in this either. £380 seems like a lot to many people. However, I would always argue that for many of us who enjoy train travel, it is a mini trip in itself. People wouldn't think much of spending £380 on a city break. Personally for me, it's what I like to spend my hard-earned money on. This is also factoring in someone travelling on their own. If you're travelling as a couple, it would actually be quite a bit cheaper, because the train would be cheaper and the hotel room in Milan would be cheaper as well. So you could be looking at about £300 for a couple. If you went further down and got more budget accommodation, maybe £270 per person. Now the other option, which I did do on the way back, is to take the ferry from Naples to Palermo, and I would recommend doing this if you wanted to see Naples as well. So to do this, once you get to Milan, you would probably still spend the night in Milan because you've been travelling from London that day, and then you would take a high-speed train to Naples the next morning. This is really rapid. It only takes around 4 hours, so you could take a high-speed train at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you'd be there by lunchtime, and then you'd have the whole afternoon to explore Naples. And then at about 8 o'clock the ferries to Sicily, or the night ferries at least, to Sicily leave. So you'd have to make your way down to the dock. The ferries in Italy aren't super user-friendly to pedestrians, but they are possible. So you'd have to make your way down to the dock, get onto the ferry, and on the ferry you can book a cabin. Now it looks like you can either book a shared cabin or you can book your own cabin, and it obviously depends on the time of year, on your budget and your group. When I looked for dates in the summer, it was about £40 for the crossing itself, and then it was £20 for a shared cabin, or I think it was £60 more for a private cabin. However, when I actually travelled this route, I got a cabin to myself and it was £60 in total, including my booking and my private cabin. So I think it really depends on the time of year for the ferry. Jury's out on whether that's actually a cheaper option compared to the train, but it is a good option if you want to explore Naples as well. So like I say, it's an adventure, it's a different way to travel. I've posted about this a few times on Instagram now, and by no means do I think that everyone should stop flying to Sicily. People want a holiday, people deserve a holiday, and for a lot of people flying makes sense. But a lot of us like to travel by train, and these are the people that I'm talking to with these videos. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it has shown you how it might be possible to travel from London to Sicily. I've got loads of these I could talk about. I could talk about London to Marrakesh, I could talk about London to North Finland, London to Istanbul, London to the Baltics, anywhere in Spain, anywhere else in Italy. So if you have any requests or questions, then please drop me a comment and I will see if I can do one of those videos. I've literally spent the last 5 years travelling overland around Europe, so I'm really happy to answer any questions. Now if you want to read my full blog post about this route with lots of links and helpful hints for booking, then you can scan this QR code, and also if you want to see some of my vlogs from when I did this trip, then they are here. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!